Happy Monday. Happy Moon Day, my friend. Welcome to Monday morning announcements. We are at the very tail end of summer break. And whether or not you are a part of, or you have any kids or anyone that you love that's a part of the school system, we all feel it, right? We all still have our tie and our connection to that cycle of summer break, this back to school season and sensation. And that is why back to school season is so perfectly fitted and aligned with the start of Virgo season. I don't know about you, but I feel like I got so many parts of my life together this weekend already, mostly in little chores around my house, but my gods, did it feel good. And I was cracking up when I was like, oh yeah, Leo season's over. And I actually have motivation again to be productive and do things. Now, let's check a little bit of astrology with each other, shall we? Okay, few main things this week. Number one, tomorrow, Tuesday the 25th, we have Mercury entering into its home sign of Virgo. So we are going to see an additional uptick in that productivity, that efficiency. Honestly, it is marked often by an increase in motivation. I think that when Mercury enters into Virgo, when we're in Virgo season, there is this sudden kind of clarity, and a lot of problems and challenges all of a sudden have these very, very simple solutions kind of present themselves or are suddenly realized. And that's because Virgo season and Virgo energy in general is so associated with analytical thinking and processing that is hands-on with real earthly tangible results. That's the power of being ruled by air planet Mercury, but being in and of itself an earth sign that Virgo is. It really combines the powers of both the elements of air and earth. So we're able to kind of survey scenes of complication and challenge, especially things that we have felt really hung up on over and over again, or for a while, or we've been kind of like leaving off to the side and waiting until we can figure out what to do with it, sort of a thing. And suddenly we feel the motivation to do it. We see the clarity of the path of solution, or we suddenly simply get the energy to handle it and tackle it and take it on. I saw this in metaphor in so much of my housework this weekend. It's so funny. I'm really learning how much being a house witch pulls and connects so many different parts of my spiritual practice together, because I truly learn so much. I get so much lesson and growth from the metaphors of housework. But there have been so many little piles and projects. So many different little piles and projects. If you're a neurodivergent person, you're probably like, yep. And some of them were started years ago when we moved in here, like 3 years ago. Some of them have just been kind of a summer pile or problem or project that has now like grown dormant wherever it is and is now just collecting dust sitting there. And over the weekend, I just had this like ease of clarity. I had just like this natural motivation of just like, oh yeah, that and that. Oh yeah, I'm going to take care of that. I'm going to take care of that. Oh, it's so simple. I should just do this. And what's funny is I kept all weekend, I kept having the metaphor what do you call this in our culture? It's not a euphemism unless it is. It's an analogy, I guess, but there's like a story or whatever you call this, a euphemism, an analogy, a story, an example. How do you eat an entire elephant? Essentially one bite at a time. And I just kept getting those words repeated over and over again throughout the weekend. One bite at a time, because one bite at a time. I even said it out loud a couple of times, because one bite at a time. And that is such a good real-time example of the problem-solving nature of Virgo. And Virgo is very like, because one bite at a time. So what has felt so crazy overly complicated, or what has been so overwhelming, or what has been like an eyesore, whether it's literally, again, like a pile or a project in your house, or if that's more of a metaphor for something else in your life, how can you one bite at a time that? How can you break it up into chunks and just take it one piece at a time? That is a great way to move through this week. And once we get to Thursday the 27th, the day before this week's full moon eclipse, Mercury in Virgo and the Sun in Virgo are going to form a conjunction, which is known as a Mercury Cazimi. So we are being really given the opportunity of witnessing and participating in a little uptick in efficiency, a little uptick in motivation, again, a renewed or stronger sense in connection with our problem-solving skills and capabilities. We are being given all of that leading up to this last eclipse of eclipse season for a reason. And bear in mind that this eclipse is in Pisces on the Pisces-Virgo axis. So the sun will be in Virgo during this full moon, and the moon will be in Pisces. We are going to be talking about this eclipse at this week's shadow work group, and we'll go more into the astrology then. But until then, I want you to bear in mind that we are being given this lead into Virgo season and Virgo energy leading up to this Pisces lunar full moon eclipse for a reason. You're not doing it wrong when you enter into Virgo season with excess to trim, okay? You're not doing it wrong when you enter into Virgo season with like shit that's built up, or that you realize you've like been carrying this whole entire time, or again, you've been shoving off and piling into a corner. You're not doing it wrong. You're doing it right. Virgo season exists because that's the natural path. And Virgo season, that high functioning sacred energy of simplification and refinement, which is why I hate, in older traditional astrology, Virgo would be tied to like purity culture. And, in liberated modern astrology, I like to see when Virgo is cracked open way beyond that and appreciated for its incredible powers of refinement and streamlining and simplification, because every single one of us knows what it feels like to experience massive weigh down and overstimulation and overcomplication. What it feels like to just be carrying way fucking too much. Virgo, refinement, simplification, streamlining. Channel it with me, my friend. Over in that witch school this week, we have tonight's Virgo season tarot circle, hosted by the one and only headmistress of tarot, Muse. And this is going to be the Hermit, of course. We will be working with our Hermit card, and opening up to further messages and insight from our tarot deck. Tarot Circle is such a special, special place in that witch school. And this is available to our top 2 membership tiers, the Essentials tier and the All Access tier. And this is a place to not only, you know, develop your tarot practice, and, you know, so through that you learn more about the cards in your deck. But really, this is such a gorgeous gathering every month where we strengthen our intuition by doing the intuitive work with our tarot deck, but by hearing one another and supporting one another and hearing what comes up for somebody else and how they saw that card and how that contrasts with what came up for us. It really is such a unique place to really expand on strengthening your tarot practice far beyond what really comes from our just like super solo practice with our tarot deck. We also this week have shadow work group, like I mentioned. Shadow work group is on Wednesday this week, and that is hosted by yours truly, that witch next door. And we are again going to dive into the astrology of this Pisces lunar eclipse. And we're going to be going into the shadows of the vulnerability it requires to access our true childlike wonder and imagination. I'm really excited to dive deeper into this and see what comes up for all of us. And really, shadow work group is this place to hold safe space with one another and let whatever is naturally coming up for us in our growth work, in our personal development work, to allow it to just come up to the surface and be witnessed in that growth work, in that special sacred place that is shadow work. So it's a very, very special group. I'm truly, truly honored to host and hold that space. That is available to all membership tiers throughout that witch school. And finally, on Friday this week, we have a Friday Witchy co-working session. And our Friday co-working sessions are co-hosted by our student co-working monitors, Cait and Jen. And this is like all of our witchy co-working spaces. This is just a nice place to do whatever you need to do already on Friday and do it with your friends. Do it with your witchy pals. Whether it's something you really have been putting off and you really don't want to do, something for work, something around your house, an appointment you have to make, or a bill that you have to pay. But it's also a really good time for doing the stuff that you've been putting off that you enjoy doing. So catching up on some journaling, catching up on dream journaling, catching up on a nap or coloring or creative projects, studying your tarot or your astrology, working on your side business. But there is something so special when we all come together to do, to create, to work on. And that's really what I love about the energy of our co-working sessions. So co-working is drop-in anytime this Friday, 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern. All other details of our events in that witch school this week and beyond can be found, of course, in our events section on Mighty Networks. If you, my friend, are interested in joining us in that witch school, do not delay. Join us now. You have this wonderful, warm, welcoming community ready to just take you in and laugh with you and share with you, cry with you, applaud you. You can always get the link in the show notes below. You can join us at thatwitchschool.com. If you ever have questions, I'm always right around the corner. And I am sending you the magic of an open mind, the power of simple solutions, and the strength to be vulnerable in your most childlike wonder, my friend. And until I see you next time, of course, stay magical out there.